What if I told you the world is standing on the edge of a massive global crisis? Not just war, but a collapse of energy, food systems, and global power itself. This is not just another conflict. This is a turning point in history. The United States, Iran, and regional powers are now locked in a rapidly escalating confrontation. Trade routes are threatened, oil supply chains are under pressure, and the ripple effects are already spreading across the globe. The global energy system is far more fragile than most people realize. Removing even 15 million barrels of oil per day from the market can trigger worldwide disruption. This doesn't just affect the Middle East, it affects every country. Some countries are dangerously unprepared. Australia, for example, could run out of diesel within days. Entire economies could grind to a halt, not in months, but in weeks. Even more alarming, over 35% of global fertilizer supply is now disrupted. That means food production is at risk. Experts warn this could trigger global famine within the next 2 years. Oil tankers are lining up across the world, trying to secure supply. But production and logistics cannot compensate for the shortfall. Even major economies may soon face rationing. For decades, global oil trade was dominated by the US dollar. But now, countries like Iran are shifting to alternative currencies, yuan, rubles, and others. This could weaken the foundation of US economic power. Critical oil infrastructure in the Gulf is highly vulnerable. Pipelines, ports, and refineries can be disrupted with precision strikes, and recovery could take years, even decades. This conflict is widely seen as a strategic decision, driven by geopolitical alliances, particularly in support of Israel. But the long-term consequences may far exceed initial expectations. Initial assumptions suggested Iran would collapse quickly, but that has not happened. Instead, the conflict is becoming prolonged and unpredictable. Iran has spent decades preparing for this scenario. Massive underground facilities, missile systems, and drone fleets allow it to sustain long-term resistance. Despite claims of control, the blockade situation is complex. Trade routes remain unstable, and insurance markets have already disrupted shipping flows. China and Russia are quietly reshaping the battlefield. Iran still has alternative routes to export oil, and global alliances are shifting rapidly. This is no longer a regional conflict. Turkey, Egypt, and other powers could be drawn in. The situation is becoming increasingly volatile. Even with advanced military power, ground operations face severe risks. Modern warfare favors precision strikes, drones, and surveillance, not traditional large-scale invasions. If escalation continues, this conflict could evolve into a global confrontation. The involvement of major powers would fundamentally reshape the world order. The most dangerous possibility remains nuclear escalation. Several nations have already issued warnings. A single miscalculation could have catastrophic consequences. Beyond war, the economic impact could be devastating. Energy shortages, inflation, and financial instability worldwide. The only realistic solution may be diplomacy, a global agreement to stabilize energy markets and de-escalate tensions. The world is entering a new phase of uncertainty. What happens next will define the future of global power, security, and survival. Stay informed, because this story is far from over.